Every year, Indiana's 3rd through 8th graders take the ILEARN assessment. It's a huge test that measures students on a variety of academic standards, most importantly, English, language arts, and math. The test happens every year in the spring, but results were just released in July. It's one of the reasons the ILEARN is about to undergo major changes.
Top to bottom, there is consensus.
Okay, yeah, we have work to do.
That was Indiana's Secretary of Education after ILEARN results were unveiled. She wasn't the only one.
If we keep on that trajectory, I'm going to be in a home before we get to any kind of acceptable result.
While there has been growth in statewide ILEARN scores since the pandemic, still less than half of students in the state are proficient in ELA and math.
It struck me looking at those results going, it's great, and again, kudos to everyone who's working hard to get those increases, but it's not enough. We've got to really have a sense of urgency and our hair on fire around some of those things. So.
Statewide, 41% of Indiana students are at or above proficiency standards in ELA. In math, 40.7% of students are at or above proficiency standards. The data shows both ELA and math are up slightly since 2021, which state leaders consider as a baseline year. But they're basically stagnant compared to last year.
Grade by grade, the data shows ELA proficiency has increased across most grade levels since 2021, but 3rd grade and 8th grade saw decreases this year.
I just want to point out that the 3rd grade group represented this year is the last group widely impacted as they began their kindergarten year, possibly with a delayed start, 100% remote, or in a hybrid learning environment. Our students in grade 3 have the lowest proficiency in ELA, and the greatest proficiency level is at grade 8, but it's reversed in math, which you'll see shortly.
Since the 2021 baseline, math proficiency has increased across all grade levels, but the data shows even with that bump up from 2021, this year's proficiency is down in almost all grade levels compared to last year. There is some good news for subgroups of students statewide. Black students have increased in math and ELA every single year since 2021. And English language learners increased proficiency statewide in ELA this year.
As a board, we had a discussion last year about our concern because our English learner students were not recovering quite as quickly as other student populations. So this was a good news element to see a slight bit of recovery, additional recovery. We hope to obviously continue that.
To support students across the state, the IDOE is making major changes to the ILEARN. Instead of one large test in the spring, students will be assessed throughout the year.
Here's a look at the entire system.
Students will test at the beginning of the school year. Then there will be 2 more checkpoint assessment windows before they take the ILEARN at the end of the school year.
All schools will administer an adjusted summative assessment at the end of this next school year, in which we've removed as many of the former standards that we could without impacting scoring.
State leaders say this allows for schools, teachers, and parents to receive more timely data so they can make immediate changes to help students.
Hopefully, we'll no longer have just a one point in time, here's the update, but we'll really know throughout the year.
While this ILEARN redesign won't officially roll out for every school in the state until the next school year, more than 72% of schools have now opted in for this school year.
That includes all South Bend Community School Corporation schools and Penn Harris Madison schools. On Wednesday, Operation Education is looking closer at ILEARN scores at schools and districts across our area. In the studio, Kristen Bean, WSBT 22 News.